Nemesis. This ends now.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed the animation. That's pretty much what it's always looked like in my head when I played with my action figures, and I wanted to make that into a little bit of reality. Now, in all actuality, it probably looked a little bit something, well, like this on the outside. Ugh. The reality of the situation is that, well, yes, that is sort of how it looked in my head. It wouldn't have been this. It would have been this. It's a problem, actually. Now, when I was 9 or whatever, and I came up with that fake battle, I did have this Optimus. This is the Optimus I had. My mom gave it to me when my great-grandmother was in the hospital getting surgery on her esophagus. Fun times. But the only Nemesis Prime I had at that age was this guy. Now, I do love him. He's fun, he's chunky. I mean, he's very pretty. His color scheme is great. His paint's been very good over the years, but it doesn't, like in my head, like it's not this figure. It's never been this figure. So enter this guy, the piece de la resistance to my childhood imagination, if you will. I loved War for Cybertron growing up, and it's a fucking awesome game. If you haven't played it, like go buy a fucking Xbox 360 or PS3 and go get one of those. The PC copy is like $8 now. Regardless, this figure's kind of a dream. Like this is the dream. This is the dream. I got it. I got the dream, and it's fucking fantastic. Now, growing up, Nemesis Prime was always one of my favorite characters, which is why I was so adamant about getting a War for Cybertron version of him, because favorite game, favorite character, you want it. And I didn't know this thing existed up until recently. And I went out and I bought one. It was loose on eBay, but I mean this is a good figure. This is a really good figure. I can't begin to express just how awesome this figure is. And I love it to death. I really do, and that's why I'm going to talk about it. So here's a little animation of his arm movement abilities. I made this with the initial intention to do all of the posability in stop motion, and then I realized that was annoying. But anyway, here you go. So it's pretty good range. My cat took the filming spot, by the way, but it's good range. This is a lot further than a lot of figures coming out in this era could pull off. That's for sure. These panels are very they're pretty annoying. Not gonna lie to you. They move up when you move the arm, and then they just kind of look weird. But shut up. It's fine. It's from 2011. Get over yourself. This is great. It's great. His elbows, they go to about 90, but it's kind of all you're gonna get out of it. So he does have really nice light piping, really, really nice. It's very menacing. And, he's got he's got a little ball joint. You can look around, you can cheat him and look really far up. But, it's not insane, but it's a ball joint. You know what a fucking ball joint is, you don't need me to tell you that. His legs, however, are where the issues begin to happen. Legs can go this far forward. Now, granted, they can push the side skirt out of the way. Kind of looks weird, though. In theory, his legs are awesome. like in theory. Like here, like let me show you something. So I have them all contorted and stuff, but like, okay, so this leg, I moved the wheels up and cheated it, and he's got like, you know, his elbow's literally, or his elbow, his knee. Do I know what a knee is? No, his knee is like perfect, you know. But then on this side, the wheels kind of collide with the way the hip's sculpted, so you don't get as much out of it. But they're pretty cool in a vacuum. But granted, to get this much out of it, I had to move this entire ass assembly out of the way. So, you know, take that with a grain of sand. Like, I mean, it has potential. It's just there's too much shit in the fucking way, and you have to cheat it and whatever. No, something cool you're going to see me doing is I'm going to have him kind of arched over like this. His whole waist assembly is like on a bunch of hinges and shit. So you can kind of cheat him in like a bit of an ab crunch. Like, see how I got him leaned over like this? It's pretty cool, honestly. Like, you can do a lot with that for photography. It's just not very, you know, like, there's nothing tabbing all that in. Like, on this figure, it's fine because he's really tight. He's got really tight joints. He's really good. My Optimus, however, not so much. You know, I had him since I was, you know, like a kid, and he's been, you know, on like a bunch of family trips and shit, transformed like a billion times. So he's a little bit looser, but it's pretty cool to do this with that. I think that there's like an Amazon repaint of this guy too. Like, his joints are probably a lot tighter than like a loose original run. So you'd be able to do this more with that as well. So yeah, just it's a pretty neat trick. Now the alt mode. So here's his alt mode. Now this alt mode, it's pretty cool. Like I can't lie. This is a sick fucking alt mode. Now, what they don't tell you on the box is that this thing's transformation is a fucking clusterfuck. Like, this is bad. Despite all the beauty and power that this thing has, how badass it looks, the transformation is just, it really fucking kills this figure in a lot of ways. Like, this is so bad that I don't want to transform this to show you the comparison, because that's how bad it is. I thought about trying to film this, and honestly, I'd rather I physically can't think of like an analogy that is bad enough to describe why I don't like words. Words do not come to describe how annoying this is. Like, it is a feat of engineering, sure. Like, this thing is awesome. It's amazing how that robot mode turns into this really sleek fucking truck, you know? And it looks so cool. Like, this is one of the most foreboding trucks I've ever seen. Like, if this came at you, like, what are you gonna fucking do, huh? Like, you're not gonna run from that. You can't run from that. Like, you can't. And, like, you know, there's no one on the planet that I would say is more, you know, like, qualified to talk about this than I am. Like, I took that OG Optimus with me everywhere, and I mean everywhere. And it's just like, I transformed that thing all the time when I was a kid, and for the life of me, like, it took so long. Like, I think the first time I transformed this when I was a kid, it took me like an hour, like an actual hour to figure this out. Just recording this one while I was transforming it off camera took me like 10 minutes. Like, it's all such a, and it's having a tough time sticking together. Like, this side's having together fine, but over here, like, this is kind of inset, and it's just sort of a time, like, it's difficult. It's a very difficult transformation, and, well, yes, the two outcomes are awesome. Like, this was an awesome alt mode, and the robot mode's fucking sick. It's just this really suffers from that transformation. And if you don't care about that, if you just care about, like, oh, I want this for the robot, because quite frankly, I'm like that. You know, I just want stuff for the robot mode. Then I think you'll like this as an awesome robot mode. And if you need to have a good robot mode, good vehicle mode. Again, beautiful fucking design. Shit's gorgeous. But that doesn't make up for the fact that the steps to getting there are terrible. Like, it's an MP44 Optimus kind of situation where the transformation is just abhorrent, but, you know, both of the modes are so good, you'll deal with it, I guess. Like, I mean, it's definitely worth it. Hi. Now, you know, like, it's not the end of the world with the transformation. The Indiana has an awesome alt mode and an awesome robot mode. It's just the fact that it takes so much effort, you know, to get there is what the problem is. And if you don't care about that, that's fine. You know, like, hell, if you're in this just for the robot mode, you know, a lot of people, I am half the time, then, you know, this will be just fine for you. And if you just want two good modes, this has 2 awesome modes and the most beautiful paint scheme you could ever ask for. But the transformation sucks. It really sucks, doesn't it? Despite everything I had to say about all that, this still stands as one of my favorite things in my collection. I love this figure to death. It is gorgeous to look at. It's fun to pose. I can't get over the looks. It looks so fucking awesome. It has a absolutely bomb-ass truck and robot mode. Just the transformation has some issues. If you can get your hands on this, it comes with a pretty badass looking Megatron. I would say go for it. It's a one-of-a-kind piece, and there's not a lot of them. You know, this is a toy show exclusive. You're not gonna find a lot of these in a few years out, and right now you can still get them for a good price. And I'd recommend going for it. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble incoherently about a Transformer. I had a lot of fun making this, mostly the stop motion bit at the beginning. That was really fun. And I hope you liked it. If you did, if you could, you know, hit that like button, all the whatever the fuck, subscribe, show your friend, show your mom, I don't care. Just do all that, and yeah, thanks, GG, something like that. I don't fucking know.